Previously we looked at simple forms, which were mostly rectangular with a lot of straight lines except the cylindrical ones. Let's take a look at how we can construct more curvy objects and how to mirror a shape, which will make it easier to construct more complex objects. If you're having a hard time with perspective and you haven't yet, make sure to check out my previous videos in this series, going over what perspective is and how to draw simple forms using perspective. They are foundational to this video. So let's say we want to draw something that looks more like this. How do we get these curved planes to look correct and not be a wobbly, lumpy, what the f is that looking shape? If you've seen my how to draw simple forms video, we've used a lot of rectangles to draw the other forms. Well, that trend is going to continue and we will use rectangles to help us make curves as well. So having practiced those, these will be more simple to understand and create. Let's jump in and take a look at how we can draw a form like this one. Let's start out by making a box. And on one side of it, we make the curve we want our object to have. We then pick out some points on this curvy line. It can be any number of them and anywhere along this line. And we will use them to find those exact points on the other side so we can more easily make the curve on the other side accurate and in the same spot. So to find them on the other side, first let's extend some lines out of them towards the vanishing points heading to the other side of the box where we want our curve to be. How far? Far enough to be sure. To find where it exactly meets the other side of the box, draw around along the outsides of the box using the vanishing points, and at some point it will intersect with those lines that we just extended. That intersection point is where those points will be. And now that we found all these points on the other side, we just have to connect them with curves that are similar. If you're having a hard time making the curves feel identical, then you can use more points to get more spots precise that you can connect with more accuracy. Having done that, I can darken the outlines and we have our curvy planed object. This is a simple technique we can use to help us draw an object with a curved side. Now let's take a look at how we can draw something that is symmetrical. The easiest way to approach that is to construct one side of it and then mirror it to the other side. And since we use rectangles to construct many objects, let's take a look at how to mirror a rectangle. First in flat view. First we draw a rectangle, then we establish a mirror plane. I call this a mirror plane because with this technique everything on this side will be the same on the other side but flipped, acting exactly like a mirror. In this case the mirror plane will be the edge of the rectangle. The further this line is from the rectangle, the bigger the distance there will be between the two rectangles that you draw. So now having chosen the mirror plane, let's find the middle of the rectangle by connecting the opposing corners, making an X inside the rectangle. And from the middle point, draw a straight line to the mirror plane and place down a dot where it meets it. Extend these horizontal lines. Now from one of the far corners of the rectangle, draw a line through this point on the mirror plane that we just placed until it meets one of these lines that we just extended. And where this line from that corner meets that extended horizontal line, we raise a vertical and we have successfully found the rectangle's mirrored side, giving us two equal size rectangles. If you want a lot of these rectangles in a row, just extend a line from the far corner through the middle of the outer side of the rectangle and then raise those verticals. If the mirror plane is further away, it's the same process, except you also draw the line from the closer corner through the same middle point of the mirror plane to find the other side of the rectangle. Let's see it in perspective real quick. First we draw the rectangle, and then we place down the mirror plane. Having that, we find the middle of the rectangle by connecting the opposing corners, making an X inside it. And then we draw a straight line to the vanishing point toward the mirror plane. Place down a dot where this meets the mirror plane, and then from the far and the closer corner of the rectangle, draw a line through this dot until it meets those lines from the construction of the first rectangle. From those points, draw the sides of the mirrored rectangle using the vanishing point. And boom, we have a mirrored rectangle in perspective. So that is how we can mirror a rectangle. Let's see how we can mirror something that we can construct or fit inside a rectangle. Like this line. How can we mirror this line? As always, our homie, the rectangle, will help us. Start by drawing a rectangle around the curve, with its sides touching the outermost points of the curve, the ends of it in this case. Once you have that, we can mirror the rectangle with the technique we've learned previously, so we get the same rectangle the curve fits into. Having that, we can select any points on the curve. The more points, the easier it is to get the curve identical. Now take one of the corners of the box, like this one. The corners are always easy to find on the mirrored box as well, so it's an easy reference point. From this corner, draw a line through one of those points that you placed on the curve until it reaches the mirror plane. From there you will draw this line to the same exact corner, but on the mirrored side. Then from the point placed on the curve, extend a straight line parallel to the top or bottom of the rectangle. This line will intersect the previous line we created on the mirrored side, and this intersection will be the exact spot of our point. Now let's do the same thing with the other points. To note, choose a corner from where the line you draw through the point on the curve ends up on one of these sides, or a diagonal line connecting the opposing corners. This is because they are easy to find on the other side, allowing you to just draw one line that is parallel to the top or bottom of the rectangle, which helps you find the mirrored point. For example, using this corner for this point wouldn't be good because you can't draw a useful line into the other rectangle from the point it touches a side to find this exact point. This or this corner is going to be much better. If we start from this one and we draw through the point and end up on the side of the rectangle, we can then extend the line to the other side, and where it touches the side we can connect it back to this corner we started from, creating these mirrored diagonal lines. Then from the point on the curve, we can extend the line again to the other side. Where it meets this diagonal is where this point's mirrored image will be. Let's do the same thing with the last point. Pick a suitable corner and draw a line through the points until you meet the side. From that point, draw a line to the other side. Find the same spot from where you can connect back to the original corner. Then extend a horizontal line from the point you want to mirror until it meets this line previously made. And you have found the mirrored image of all these points of the curve. Now, having all of these, we can draw the curve through them, using them as a guide, and with that we successfully mirrored the curve we started with. We use the same method in perspective. Let's quickly see in perspective. We have a curve and we draw a rectangle around it. We select some points that we will use to help us. We mirror the rectangle and then draw through one of the lines starting from a corner and draw the same line in the mirrored rectangle. Then from the point, draw a straight line parallel to the side of the rectangle using the vanishing point and place the mirrored point down at the intersection of these lines. Do the same process with the other points, and then when you have all of them, draw the curve using the points as your guide. Mirroring an object like this would be fairly simple. All we have to do is mirror the rectangles with the technique we used so far, and then connect their corners to complete the boundaries of the object. Now that's the case with this one, but how about an object that doesn't have vertical sides? Ones that are slanted. We can still use rectangles to find their spots and mirror them, but for slanted objects, we have a different technique that we can use. Let's see how we can make this. So we start out by drawing one of the planes, and this one has a slant, as you can see, compared to the vertical line, and it is also rotated. And then I place down the mirror plane, and from the back corner, I make a small rectangle that I can mirror to find that back corner on the other side. Now we want to find this edge as well. We do that by extending the line down between those corner points, and then we extend the slanted edge until it meets that line. From the point where it meets it, we extend the line up through the first back corner that we mirrored, and with that we found the angle of the edge. We can find where it ends if we draw a line from the top of the original plane using the vanishing point. This way we found the complete edge. Now we can do the same thing with this long edge. Extend this middle mirror line upwards to where you can extend the long edge into and find this intersection point. Then from that intersection point, extend the line through the mirrored corner, which will give you the angle of the long edge. From there you can draw a line from this corner using the right vanishing point to find the end of the long edge on the mirrored side. And then we have this edge left to find. We use the same process. Extend the vertical line down in between these two corners on the mirror plane. Extend the edge you want to mirror to this vertical, and from the point it meets it, extend the line up through the corner on the mirrored side. With that you found the angle. Now just find the end of the edge, extend the line from the corner of the original edge using the vanishing point until it meets the mirrored side. And having found that corner as well, we can make the missing lines by connecting the corners. And this way we have successfully mirrored the rotated and slanted object. For an assignment, make two objects with a curvy plane, two objects where you've used the mirroring technique, and a mirrored slanted object using the techniques shown in the video. And as always, try and combine these techniques and forms to make something slightly more interesting. Or if you really want to challenge yourself, then attempt to construct something more complex like this. If you want, you can share your results. I would love to see them. Tag me on Instagram or post them in our Discord or Facebook group where I can also give feedback. I hope you found this video useful. If you have any questions or suggestions, let me know in the comments, and have fun. Keep practicing and these things will become more and more intuitive. If it's hard, don't be discouraged. Replay the videos if you need to and keep at it. And for now, like if you like, subscribe if you want to, and have a fantastic day. A big shout out to my Patreon Navani Art. Your support is immensely appreciated. If you want to support or if you want to learn art, the link is in the description.